The girl dropped her favorite mouse into a hole, but instead found a real dragon. Let's find out how this meeting ended. Long ago, necromancers began a war against all living creatures. Empires and dragons united and defeated this evil spirit. However, after the victory, people began to envy the dragon's power. The new emperor ordered all dragons to be captured and imprisoned. A man in a hat and mask hiding his face is interested in dragons, but no one has seen them for many years. A little girl named Pin is born in a merchant shop. The shop owners find her and see that this little girl has a special power. They take the child with them and set off on a long journey. The girl cries constantly, but the traders still bring her to the village. The little girl is taken in by one of the local old women named Leoma. Meanwhile, the man who was looking for the dragon returns home. His name is Dao. He wants to cure his seriously ill mother, but the woman still leaves for another world. Years pass. Pin grows up. Leoma says that today is the day of offerings. The girl dreams of getting into the palace, but her grandmother leaves her to watch the animals. Pin feeds the chickens, collects their eggs in a basket, and treats her favorite mouse, Kroha, to food. She and her grandmother serve the arrogant Mr. Lan. Leoma collects a huge basket with offerings. The mouse jumps into it for our heroine. Grandmother loads the heavy basket onto her shoulders and soon falls from fatigue. Mr. Lan scolds the old woman and wants to hit her, but Pin says that he will carry the basket instead of Lao. The little girl is very heavy, but she heroically drags it to the palace. There, Pin throws the contents of her basket into a huge pit for offerings. She sees that Kroha flies into the pit along with the food. The girl despairs because he is her only friend. When everyone leaves, Pin secretly goes down into the offering pit for her mouse and hurts her hand. She notices Tiny and is very happy to see him. However, there is someone else here. It is a real dragon. More precisely, two dragons. They heal the wound on Pin's palm. The girl thanks the dragons for their help and notices their shining blue egg. It can float in the air. Pin tells the dragons that it is time for her to return home, and they help the little girl climb up. In her dream, the girl sees a dragon egg flying next to her and follows it. She ends up in a cave and, with the help of her hidden magic power, learns that the egg contains a dragon named Kai. He can change this world. The egg with Kai must float in a special lake, the water from which can dissolve its shell. The dragons admit that only Pin can help them, and at that moment the amulet on her neck begins to glow. Pin and Llama wake up because their house is shaking. It seems like a dragon storm has started. This means that one of the dragons has died. The girl runs out into the street and sees that Mr. Lan is hurrying to the palace and demands that his subordinates take the body before it loses its magical properties. Pin sees that they have dragged the body of one of the dragons she saw the day before from the palace and are cutting it into pieces. She seems to hear voices begging her for help. In the morning, Pin wakes up in the chicken coop. She sees that an important gentleman named Dao has arrived. The girl must bring him hot tea. Pin hears that the man wants to capture the second dragon named Danzi and bring him to the Imperial Palace for some ritual. His blood is needed to save the Emperor's life. Mr. Dao notices Pin and somehow learns that she was visiting the dragons. He takes her as a mouse and wants to pour boiling water on him, but Pin saves the little one. Mr. Dao is very pleased. He wants to use Pin to lure the dragon out and make him do whatever he is told. Dao takes the girl to the palace and threatens her, and Danzi rushes to her defense. This dragon is ready to protect Pin even at the cost of his own life. Danzi grabs him and tries to drag him into a huge cage. At this point, Pin uses his power again and even causes a small earthquake with a loud scream. Danzi breaks free and hands the girl his egg. After that, he is immediately grabbed by the Imperial soldiers. Our little heroine tries to escape, and Dao and his men are chasing her. He uses a special poison, and after his bite the girl falls to the ground. Pin should die, but with the help of her miracle power she is healed. Danzi breaks free and runs to her guardian. Dao grabs the girl, takes the shining egg from her and throws Pin off a high cliff. Danzi jumps after her and saves her guardian. Unfortunately, the magic egg remains with Dao. The dragon tries to get it back, but the captain of the Imperial Guard named Quan shoots several arrows at him. He takes the shining egg from Dao, calls it the Pearl of Longevity, and wants to urgently deliver it to the Imperial Palace. The dragon brings Pin to his senses, and the girl sees that he saved not only her, but also Kruha. Danzy knows where the egg with Kai was taken and asks the girl to help return it. The dragon tells that Pin has a special power. She manages to use a powerful energy called Che, but the girl still cannot fully control it. To shorten the path, Danzy and Ping take the shortest, but very dangerous route. The suspension bridge collapses under their feet, and our heroes fall down. Pin uses his superpowers again and creates a rope from Chi energy to save both himself and the dragon. Yes, we also know that Danzy can fly very well, but he has to resort to trickery to teach Pin how to use his power. Captain Quan arrives at the Imperial Palace and delivers the Pearl of Longevity to his dying ruler. Its incredible power helps the Emperor stay alive. Dao tells his ruler about ancient scrolls in which he read interesting stories about the gift of immortality. The Emperor asks his advisor not to anger the gods. However, Dao is not going to listen to him. He returns to his secret abode, where he meets an old man named Wen Chao. In the past, he was a dragon keeper and still wears a medallion around his neck like Ping. Now, this old man serves Dao and helps him prepare the elixir of immortality. Only the main ingredient is missing, the Pearl of Longevity. Dao plans to steal her from the Imperial Palace. When Chao confesses to his master that he hears the voice of the dragon and his new guardian, Danzy and Ping jump from the top of a huge waterfall, dive, and float to the surface. They successfully reach a huge cave that holds the memories of the ancient war. Danzy tells the girl how dragons and humans fought together against the necromancers, and at that moment when Chao appears on their way, he promises to take our heroes to the palace, but can only create a very small passage. Danzy will have to wait here while Wen Chao and Ping try to steal the Pearl of Longevity. On the way to the palace, the old man teaches the girl how to use Che energy. The most important thing is to feel this power, but not to use it too often, otherwise you can awaken the necromancers sleeping in the palace. Danzy breaks through to the Imperial Palace. Using magic, he causes a massive flood so that the guardians cannot harm him. The dragon jumps across the rooftops, dodges arrows, and creates magical armor for himself. Captain Quan comes out against him. Pin sneaks into the palace, finds the Emperor there, and asks him to give her the shining egg. The guardians attack the girl, but she uses her power, defeats everyone, and the baby takes the egg from the Emperor. The Imperial Guard appears, dozens of arrows fly at the girl. She gets to the roof, and there she is wounded by one of the archers. She drops the egg on the roof, but it turns out that it was just a trap to distract the guards. The real egg remains with Pin, and the guardians find only a bag of fireflies on the roof. In the palace, the girl is attacked by one of the soldiers, but Pin uses her power and easily knocks him out. Pin sees that the Emperor's son has grabbed the shining egg. She takes it away, and they fight. Pin wins and runs away with the magic egg. She finds Wang Chao and boasts that they did it. Unfortunately, the wily Dao is hiding not far from the old man and throws one of his poisonous spiders at Pin. The faithful mouse saves his mistress. However, there are hundreds, maybe even thousands, of such spiders here. They bite Pin, and Dao takes the pearl from her. Wang Chao gives her a drop of antidote and escapes with Dao. Pin soon comes to her senses and tries to catch up with Dao, but Captain Quan finds her. Dao begins his ritual to become immortal. Captain Quan and Pin chase Dao, and the mouse goes in search of Danzy. The rodent finds the dragon in the dungeon and tells him about serious problems. Danzy immediately destroys his prison and rushes to save his keeper. Meanwhile, Quan and Pin find Dao, and the girl uses her power to get rid of his poisonous insects. Pin notices Wang Chao and brings him to his senses. Dao sucks out all living beings' Che power, causing Quan to age 40 years in a couple of seconds. Pin is ready to sacrifice herself, but Wang Chao gets ahead of her and goes out to fight Dao himself. He uses all his Che power and takes the pearl from Dao with great difficulty. Unfortunately, the old man loses all his life force and turns into dust. Due to strong fluctuations in Che energy, all the necromancers wake up and come out. We see that Dao has turned into a real demon. He wants to take the pearl from Pin, and the girl uses all her strength to resist him. Pin gives Quan the dragon egg and begs the captain to protect it with his life while she fights Dao. Her faithful Danzy comes to her aid. The dragon and the demon engage in a fierce battle. Soon they fall into a deep well together and emerge from there very exhausted. Quan runs out into the street, But there he is met by a squad of necromancers. He also has to fight and protect the egg with Kai. There are too many enemies, but the captain is rushed to the aid of the Imperial guards. Danzi and Pin combine their Cha energy and deal a crushing blow to Dao. The demon absorbs all their power and becomes so huge that it destroys the cave where the battle took place and dies. Danzi and Pin manage to escape. They destroy the necromancers in their path with a powerful flow of Cha energy and save the egg with Kai. Captain Quan gives the girl the pearl, and she flies away with Danzi and the glowing egg. They go to the dragon realm, and their Pin carries the egg with Kai to the lake of birth. She lowers it under the water and sees a small glowing dragon emerge from the egg. This is Kai, and he's very cute. Kai and Pin come out of the cave, and we see that another dragon storm has started. This means that Danzi has used up all his chi. His time is up. Now Pin must raise Kai on her own. The girl tries to heal Danzi with her chi energy, but she puts in too much effort and passes out from fatigue. Little Kai and the faithful mouse Kroha remain by her side. Now Pin is the keeper of the last dragon on